I'm going to tell you a story. How would you like to hear a story? The story is one, and yet it is many, many stories. And you've heard them before. You've heard them in fairy tales, when you're a little child in school, nursery rhymes. You've heard the story in the mythologies, the fairy tales, the gospels, the legends, and all of those great classical books like the Bible. And each culture has their stories, and it's all one story. You see, Little Red Riding Hood is the sun. And as the sun sets in the western horizon, so let's take that to be the east and that's the west over there, the ancients always placed the scales of Libra at the western sunset, where from time to time the sun sets with its red colours. And the scales of Libra begin right at the horizon and go for 30 degrees below the horizon. Just like this. These are the signs. This line here would be the horizon, and this one here, and there's the scales of Libra. So when Little Red Riding Hood, the sun sets, you see, Mama tells Little Red Riding Hood, don't you stop and talk to anybody, you go direct, because that's what the sun does. Out of all the planets in the sky, in the solar system that we can see, the 7, the sun is the only one that goes direct. The moon does too, but she waxes and wanes. Whereas the sun's always faithful and true. Jupiter retrogrades. Saturn retrogrades. But little old Red Riding Hood goes direct. You see, but the wolf comes along, and the wolf happens to be Lupus, one of the deacons of Libra, the scales of justice, where the sun dies every day when it sets on the horizon in the west. The Egyptians called that dying, they called it westing. That's why they put all their tombs on the west bank of the Nile. Because that's where you die, that's where all the stars die. You see, you watch the stars in the zodiac go around every night, and you'll see them at the horizon, they go faint, and then all of a sudden they disappear. That's judgment. That happens in Libra. And that's why the crooks, what we call here in the south the Southern Cross, that's on our flag. That's also a deacon. These are the southern deacons, the wolf, Lupus, and the cross. There's the sun, and that's the northern deacon of Libra. It's always on the horizon. But you know, Little Red Riding Hood, when she gets eaten by the wolf here in Libra, the wolf of darkness, this will be day and this will be darkness. She always comes out the other side. You see the huntsman, Orion, in Taurus, the huntsman, he opens up the wolf, and Little Red Riding Hood comes out again to see another day. Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. Snow White is the sun, because the sun has a beautiful white aura and glow. And the undifferentiated light of the sun is the one white light, which gets differentiated into 7 colours. And they are the 7 of everything that you see. They'd be the little dwarfs that help Snow White. Sleeping Beauty. I wonder what Sleeping Beauty is all about. Is it in this one? Sleeping Beauty happens to be the earth goddess. Sinks into her long winter sleep when pricked by the point of the spindle. In her cosmic palace, all is locked in icy repose, naught thriving, save the ivy which defies the cold, until the kiss of the golden-haired sun god reawakens life and activity. Cinderella and Prince Charming. Cinderella's the dawn, Prince Charming is the sun. Same story, same characters, different names, different cultures, but they all originated from one common origin, according to John Thackeray Bunce. In fairy tales, their origin and meaning. One common origin. And when you study these stories and you study the words, you will see that clearly. It only takes a little bit of research. The wicked stepsisters would be the cloud, and the stepmother would be the night. What have we got over here? Nursery rhymes. Song of Sixpence. 24 blackbirds are the 24 hours, and the pie that holds them is the underlying earth, covered with the overreaching sky. How true a touch of nature it is that when the pie is opened, that is, the day breaks, the birds begin to sing, the king is the sun, and his counting out the money is pouring out the sunshine, the golden shower of Danae. The queen is the moon, and her transparent honey, the moonlight. The maid is the rosy-fingered dawn who rises before the sun, her master, and hangs out the clouds, his clothes across the sky. The particular blackbird who so tragically ends the tale by snipping off her nose is the hour of sunrise. Tom Thumb, Jonah, Little Red Riding Hood. As I said, John Thackeray Bunce again, Little Red Riding Hood, as it is told in our nursery tales, is the evening sun, which is always described as red or golden. The old grandmother is the earth, to whom the rays of the sun bring warmth and comfort. The wolf, which is a well-known figure for the clouds of blackness and blackness of night, is the dragon in another form. First he devours the grandmother, that is, he wraps the earth in thick clouds, which the evening sun is not strong enough to pierce through. Then with the darkness of night he swallows up the evening sun itself, and all is dark and desolate. Then, as in the German tale, the night thunder and the storm winds are represented by the loud snoring of the wolf. And then the huntsman, the morning sun, comes in all its strength and majesty and chases away the night clouds and kills the wolf and revives old grandmother earth and brings Little Red Riding Hood to life again. Or another explanation may be that the wolf is the dark and dreary winter that kills the earth with frost and hides the sun with fog and mist, and then the spring comes. Jack and the Beanstalk, found in the old Hindu tales in which the beans are used as the symbols of abundance or as meaning the moon, and in which the white cow is the clay and the black cow is the night. The three sisters, of whom one is chosen as the bride of an enchanted monster who dwells in a beautiful palace. By the arts of her sisters, she is kept away from him, and he is at the point of death through his grief. Then she returns, and he revives, and becomes changed into a handsome prince, and they live happy ever after. One feature of these legends is that beings closely united to each other, as closely, that is, as the sun and the dawn, may not look upon each other without misfortune. Sleeping Beauty. So you see, that's the story. And the story is to be found in the Gospels as well. Because there's always this shining prince, this hero that comes along and saves the day. Saves the day. Jesus is a saviour. J-E-S means the Son. Same character. This story has been told in many, many genres. And probably the most beautiful one of all would be in what we call the Judeo-Christian works. Absolutely magnificent. And what they are hiding, what these stories are hiding is alchemical truth.